Hello everyone, this is Jamie. I want to welcome you to my channel. Today, I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe and healthy and at home. And just a disclaimer, this is an adult coloring channel. My videos are not intended for children. If you are under the age of 18, if you can please exit this video, that would be great. Today, I actually wanted to show you guys how you can use Deco Foil in your adult coloring books. And this was actually a requested video by a couple people that had left comments, and I will do my best to try to show you guys. I'm not an expert by any means, but I will show you what I do and how it works for me. And I'm going to show you what was in one of my videos. So if you didn't watch that previous video, you can see what I have done. So in one of my finished coloring pages videos, I did some Deco Foil in this Peter Pan book by Fabio Attanasio. And when I first did it, I wanted to test it out first before I did something really large that I couldn't really change. So I decided I would test it on this first page. So what I have done is, inside this is just colored pencil, nothing drastic. And what I've done is I have Deco foiled around the clock. So or I guess it could be a timer, or I think it's a clock is my guess. Just so it gave like a little vintage little shine. And I think with Deco Foil, this actually is really great for accenting certain elements on a page. Because after what I'm about to show you guys, after doing a huge spread of trying to Deco Foil a large area, it became really, really difficult, just because it became labor intensive and just takes lots of time. So what I would recommend is using them for creating accents on a page. Now, after I did Deco Foil on this, it was sticking a little bit on this side. That bothered me because I must have had glue residue or something. So what I had done is I took Mod Podge Glossy and went over where I had the Deco Foil. So now when I close it and open up my book, it's not going to stick to the other side. And the page that I had been working on in the back here, this is where I've discovered this is going to take me a very long time, is my crocodile page. And as you can see, I'm going to try to zoom up a little bit. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It does leave little cracks and stuff. I am okay with this because I want kind of an aged, see that shine like glaring on you, an aged metal look. And if I couldn't get it perfect, that's okay. I just filled it in with some metallic jelly roll pen and called it good, just because I don't want to sweat the small stuff is how I would put it. So right now I've put wax paper just so that way when I open and close the book it doesn't stick to this opposite side. But once it's completely done, I'll probably put some glossy Mod Podge on top of this just to seal it and secure it better. And I don't know if I will finish the whole thing because it is time continuous, but we'll see what happens. But that's what I've been kind of doing in this book. So I'm going to just set that right over here. Okay. So I have pulled, this is my tester book, so to speak. I do different coloring techniques and testing different mediums and different supplies on this particular book because I got it for less than $3, and it has really good paper and it's perforated. It is the Color and Frame Patchwork book. So if you like these images and you just want to pick up this book just to have, you can do that. As you can see, it's got lots of patterns in it and such and whatnot. So yeah, here I've tested out some foil here already, and this was the gold foil. You can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of show you the supplies that you would need to kind of do this in your books to accent your pages, and if you want to give it a try. So Deco foil comes in many colors. I'll just zoom out a little bit. I just pulled 3 here. You can get rainbow, you can get all colors of the rainbow, you can get gold, you can get silver, you can get ones with textiles, you can get ones with glitter. I just have some colors because I think I got like a spring mix of shiny colors. This one's blue, this one's like a pink rose color, and this one's like a turquoise color. And there is 5 sheets to one of these little containers of Deco foil. And let's pop this one open. So they just come out like that. They just unroll, and they're very, very thin. On this side is kind of like a silvery side. Sorry for the glare. It is shiny, so this is a very shiny video. And on the opposite side will be your color. There's the glare there. You can actually see my lamp through that, like a mirror. And like you can see that I've tried to use a little bit here, and I took a sample because I wanted to try some earlier. I actually tried to film this video earlier in the day, but my kids were just too noisy, guys. I didn't want you guys to have to deal with all that background noise. So, what I use to adhere it to the page is this Quickie glue by Sakura. And if it's Sakura, I apologize. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. It is the same company that makes the Jelly Roll pen. Okay, sorry about that. Some other ways that you can adhere transfer sheets onto your adult coloring books is you can also use double-sided tape. You can also use, they have a transfer gel medium, but you have to use a heat source with that. But that does exist. They do have other kind of Quickie glue pens that do the same thing. I believe they have a jar that you can use a paintbrush that does the same thing as this. And you can use a glue stick, but you're not going to get an even coat with a glue stick. I tried that earlier, and yeah, it didn't work for me at all very well. So I'm going to start coloring in some of these. Maybe I'll do these little ornaments, or I don't know, I'll just color in some of these things because we will have to let this dry to clear before we can put on the foil. I want to zoom up here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So with these pens, don't push down hard. You need to let the glue flow out of the pen. They kind of are the consistency of one of those jelly rolls, the glaze jelly roll pen. I'm just doing a few here. Trying to get as close to the edge as I can, but it can be tricky sometimes with the camera. And what I would suggest is if you're doing this, a lot of times people are really quick to the gun just to go, okay, I hurried and turned clear. Now I get to do my transfer sheet. If you do it too soon, it will not adhere to your paper. So you could actually leave this glue, like you could color it all in, and you could probably leave it for 20 minutes, maybe even a half an hour, and then put your transfer sheet on, because you don't want to put it on too soon. I think that's the biggest problem that I have noticed with the crocodile, is that I get so eager that I want to just put it on and move on to the next element. So this process actually is going to take some patience. So if you're not a very patient person, this particular method might not be your kind of thing. Another thing you can do, if you have, say, a wallpaper page or a page like this that has like lots of patterns, most books have been printed on an inkjet type of printer, meaning the ink is on the surface. And if you have a laser jet printer that has printed it off, it may not work. I don't know, but this is what I've been told. If you put your foil on top of it and you iron it with an iron and then take it off, it will adhere to all of the ink everywhere there's a line on your paper. You just need to be really careful when you're doing that, because you have to make sure you use parchment paper. I have not tried this technique, so I don't want to tell you guys, oh, go try it, and it like be this miserable epic fail and you guys ruin a coloring book page. But there are videos on YouTube that actually show you how to transfer Deco foil on a page that has already been like a wallpaper page or inked, so to speak. And you could do it with stamping and all sorts of stuff. I like to use mixed media on my coloring book pages. I like my pencils and my markers and gel pens and stuff, but I'm a very crafty person, and I do enjoy deco foil and collage and different things that could create different looks, stencils. So my coloring supplies is almost more like a craft room than an actual coloring supply studio, just because I like to use it all in my coloring books. I'm just going to finish up these beads and then we'll do this row. We'll go with the foil. And I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to get this video out because I know people had requested it, and I want to fulfill their requests. And just for a price point, if you are interested in getting any of these supplies, the Quickie glue pens, I believe I got like 9 of them or something. It was the larger pack for like $12, but you can get the small pack of 2 for like $6 something on Amazon. If you want to just try it, I would suggest just get the small pack just to try it out. And like one thing of Deco foil is about $4. But I purchased one of 6 colors. It was like a bundle type of thing, and I paid $20, I believe, for all of those foils. So it wasn't too bad in cost. I'm just looking at these, and these all look like they're pretty much ready to go. And I just want to show you guys, you can clearly see it on camera, that these have turned clear. But you can see some of them, these little circles, like that one has a little bit of blue. In person, you can see it a lot better, but you want it to be totally clear before you put on the foil. So I'm going to avoid this strip right here that I did, because I still have some all the way down here that are still kind of blue. I'm just going to work on these beads right here that I did first. So what you do is you can take your foil sheet. If you don't want to work with such a large piece of foil, you can cut it down and just save the others for later. But piece of foil can go a long way. So you just put it on top of where you had the glue. So it was on these guys right here. I had a whole bunch of dots, if you can remember. And I'm just rubbing my thumb down that strip. And I'm hoping, it's always hit and miss if these things are going to work out. Like this down at the bottom, I didn't keep it very straight, but I hope these ones work out all right for you. Hopefully I waited long enough. When you're doing these things at night, it's always deceiving because you're not too sure if it faded to clear. Something cool you can do is you could write with one of these on a piece of paper. Like you could write your name, and then you could put the foil on top. So if you're looking for a cool way to add a signature to your coloring, you could sign your name with one of these, and then you could put your foil on top, slide it on, and then you could have a shiny impression for your signature. Kind of a fun little to do. If they're not perfect, it's just because I didn't rub them very hard. But they are on there. If you can see how there are some spots that I missed, but it's just because I'm kind of not really taking my time to make sure it's on perfectly and not rubbing it perfectly. But you can clearly see that these tinier areas are a lot easier to fill. And like this one right here has a little spot. I can take my foil and go back over this one because it's still tacky a little bit. And sometimes it will refill it. And if you're really, really worried about it because it's showed a little bit of a flaw, you could take this, color it again, wait, and then do foil on it again. But what I usually do is, if there is like a little flaw like this, I just take my metallic gel pen and go in there. Or before you put your foil down, you could color these. Like you could color them with your alcohol markers and then put your glue. And then if there are little spots that you missed, you won't be able to tell because your mind's eye will be tricked to think there is something there. Because the eye sees what it wants to see. There's a hair on my paper. I'm going to try to do these ones. But as you can see, I like totally probably screwed those ones up because I wasn't being very careful, but that's okay. This is why we have test books. It's really not too difficult to do. See, I rushed through that, and so it's not perfect, but it still gives off that shiny element to that particular page. I do like to do it with the line ones like this, just because it's kind of fun to have those shiny. But that is pretty much it. And like if you want to see, like this is not tacky anymore. Yeah, like I would have to add more glue to those if I wanted to make them perfect. But that is basically what you do. And if you were to say want to fill it, here's like a, oh, that one's a gold one, but you could take a gel pen and you could fill it, or you could add more glue, wait a minute, and go back over. I do want to show you using a marker what it would look like if we have a marker underneath or base layer. Just find a pink marker. Well, I don't really have a pink one handy. Maybe. Let's see. Because we are using pink, I'll just use this one. It's a Bic Ultra Fine Point permanent marker, and I am going to go over this. This one, just to show you guys what will happen. Just make sure this marker's dry. Those Bic ones dry really quickly, so that's why I decided to pull that. And then I'm going to put this on. When you do put the glue on, make sure you're not like digging in to your paper. You want it to flow really well. Don't force it, or it will jeopardize your glue ratio onto your paper. But I do find using the pen versus a paintbrush is a lot easier for me personally to control. As you can clearly see, now that I've used the pink undertone, you can definitely see the blue. Going to, maybe I can find a metallic pink to show you guys. I can fill in those ones while we're waiting. So I'm going to just take my metallic pink and I'm just filling in these gaps that were left behind. It's not an exact match, but that's all right. Just while I'm waiting for those. This one was really bad. I wonder if I didn't put enough glue on this one. On the crocodile that I was doing, I probably only had like, as you can clearly see, it's like not perfect at all, but it's still shiny and that's still fun. When I did the crocodile, I wasn't too worried about those cracks, like I said, because having those cracks makes it look aged, And I think that's a kind of a cool effect that you can't always get. I don't know if this is going to take forever or not. I am planning on doing another video, because there was another video that was requested, how I use sparkle Mod Podge on my backgrounds with acrylic paint. So I'm hoping to show how to do that once I'm done doing this video. But we will see what happens. Let's see if we... It's like I want to speed up the process, but I don't want to, because the little circles are getting smaller, but it's almost like the alcohol marker made it so that it took longer to absorb into the paper or something. I'm going to just try one of these little line things. Give something to do. I'm waiting. Because I have a feeling that this will go clear before these ones even get clear. But they're getting there, I can tell. I wonder if you had a heat gun, if you could actually get these to adhere and go clear quicker. But you wouldn't want to put the heat gun on top of this, because this will adhere to ink on your page. So I'm not exactly sure what your result would be on that. But if you guys have questions about this technique, you can leave a comment. And like I said, I'm not a professional. I'm just showing you guys what works for me. And this is a technique I recently discovered. And so I myself have just been testing this out and learning the ropes as well. So if you actually know a better way to put deco foil on coloring book pages, feel free to share. We'd love to all hear about it. And yeah, I think overall it's just kind of a fun thing to do in your books for something different. I can see, I bet I could probably put it on. Not on that middle part, because that's definitely still blue. If you can tell, it's like a faint blue, but I think the blue has totally disappeared from those two pink dots. So I'm going to do my best not to dip this into the blue. Put it over here. My finger must have glue on it. The spot isn't shiny. Yeah. Maybe I'll be better at the other spot. Yeah, see, it wasn't totally adhered in the center on that. So I jumped the gun too soon. So that's basically what has happened. You just have to have lots of patience for this kind of thing, and that's why I suggested the whole using it to sign a picture, because you could have a book done, a page done, sign your signature, leave it, and then start another project. And then in like a half an hour or something, come back and add the foil. See, that didn't go in the center either because it wasn't ready. But if you don't look at the center part, you can see that it went around pretty good. Almost like this actually looks like a little donut, which is like kind of cute on its own actually. But yeah, I hope this kind of answers your questions about Deco Foil and how to add them to a coloring page. The big thing is get yourself a Quickie glue pen, and I would probably just purchase the 2 unless you want to get the bigger set so you can use these for other things. And I would just get 1 thing of Deco Foil and test it. Play around with it. Be patient. Just play around with it. And if you're having like a big page like this, like do every single one of these, and they will dry as you're going, because by the time you fill all of those, these guys up here will be ready. These guys like up here will be ready for Deco Foil while these ones are getting ready. And so it's best to do your gluing first and then go back and add the foil. And as you can see, that is what I've done here on these. That's why they filled in so nicely. And that one stuff, the longer you have it on there, the better off you'll be. Obviously you can't leave it for 2 hours, but generally you're good to go. I didn't want this video to be too long, so I was trying to rush through it. See, that wasn't even close to being ready. I just jumped the gun. It's okay. But as you can see, when I put the foil back on, this was more ready, so it actually started to fill in those circles. So you can go back because the glue is still there. I hope this helps those that need some help. If you have any other questions, just let me know. You can message me through Instagram, Jamie's Coloring Love, and I'm happy to answer any questions I can answer. And if you do a technique like this using Deco Foil, I would love to see it. And you can tag me on Instagram on your pictures. I would love to see them. And yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, night, morning, whatever your time zone is. And if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe below, and you can hit the notification bell if you would like. And I will see you guys next time. Happy coloring, everyone.